About set to begin another week of football, and happy to have you along. We are underway on Thursday night primetime. Oh, good move. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Bengals offense here ready to rock and roll. Joe Burrow is the man at quarterback.
And when he came out of college, we all knew he had a chance to be one of the better quarterbacks in the league. He got there in short fashion and elevates everyone around him. Led the league in passing last year with nearly 5,000 yards and had 43 touchdown passes. He's hoping to get his team back to the playoffs after falling just short a season ago.
Burrow gets this one quickly out wide. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in third in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be first, because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And this is going to be intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy. It's not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
Here comes the Ravens on offense, and the man in charge from Louisville, the former MVP, Lamar Jackson.
And when I watch him play, all I think about is the word improvement. Every season in the league, he finds a way to get better and has become just as dynamic with his arm as he has with his legs. 41 touchdowns, just 4 interceptions in 2024. His big goal now, getting his team to a Super Bowl. Plenty of success during the regular season. Now they want to win that playoff.
Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And the Bengals are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. Well, their defense got him the football with an interception. They trot out there, Charles, in the very first play. They give the football right back.
Brand, I almost expect you coming like an auctioneer. We've got 2, we got 2. Do I hear 3? Remember, it was 2 in a row. Would we hit 3 in a row? Because these offenses, they got to be a little bit more careful as they go forward. These defenders, they're locked in and really focused.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he will find his man Chase complete. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down. Well, no matter your experience level as a quarterback, you throw an interception on that first drive, maybe a little shaken up. Nice response there to get their first down.
I think you make an excellent point. I don't care who you are. You throw an interception, it's going to get to you a little bit. But the ones that we've seen that are the best, you never notice it. They don't come to the bench, throw their helmets, they don't do any of that. They just go back out the next drive, act like it never happened. And that's what we're seeing here. That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive linemen said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
They go right back to the ground here, and Brown. 20, 5, and he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Chase Brown, 41 yards. And the Bengals are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore.
Well, earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
Evan McPherson for the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals.
Makes the score.
A drive there of just 4 plays. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Charles and I and all of our crew hope that you are all having a very happy Thanksgiving indeed. And the NFL has done such a great job recognizing today's games as the John Madden Thanksgiving celebration. Those of us of a certain age remember very well John's presence calling games on this great American holiday. And we at EA Sports so proud to do our part to honor Coach and keep his legacy alive. And we know he is looking down, holding that turducken and taking a big bite right now as we celebrate him. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a first.
And the Baltimore first down. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
I tell you what, when you're down on the scoreboard, you've got to look to your stars, and that's what they do here to start the drive. I wouldn't be surprised if they looked his way a few more times in short order. That one, well-designed, and it's a quick first down.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. He's got a man, it's his fullback. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game, but in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and 4. Jackson options out left. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think his big boys up front, that offensive line, they've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
Throwing is Jackson. He'll get this to Flowers, left side. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll make it 2nd down.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 17-yard line.
Jackson going to tuck it down on the option. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson from 17 yards out. And the Ravens are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Well, that was all Lamar Jackson all the time on that drive, both through the air and in the end with the touchdown run.
Yeah, how about him doing things a little bit on the reverse side there, Brandon, because he softened him up throwing the football and opened up the running lanes. And when he gets a little bit of a sliver, he's gone. And that's exactly what he did there.
Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
64 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start.
Boy, some big runs here, Charles, already in this first quarter.
Yeah, if the lanes are there, go ahead and exploit them. But what I like the most, how decisive he is, putting his foot in the ground and going.
Here's Burrow. This one complete to Yoshibas. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Burrow will throw. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And that last touchdown drive, a good mix of pass and run. Defensively, they just looked a little out of whack.
And it's so hard to stay up with an offense that has things going so well, where you're guessing and guessing wrong play after play. So what you need is someone on the defensive side of the ball,
leader, right?
To make a big play.
Yeah.
Throw that balance out of whack. That's what you're looking for now. Not worrying so much about guessing what the play call is.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Trey Hendrickson, the one who gets him on the ground. Tried to get the edge there. The defense just too quick to the ball.
That's what we call total team defense there. Can't get to the edge. No place to move it inside, and then allows everyone else to run to the ball and create a big-time tackle for no gain for the offense.
And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Now it's Jackson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
A short gain that doesn't get him the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it.
4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. Charlie Jones deep for Cincinnati. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt.
And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10.
Cincinnati set to take over once again. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10.
At the 39-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
This pass complete to Higgins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Defensively going forward, they're going to have to watch out for him on plays just like that. It's a drag route across the field, and they're trying to free him up and let him run after the catch. That won't be the last time we see that play, and it works there to pick up a first down.
Now they go screen. It's complete. And despite the good footwork, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45. Only 3 there on the screen. It's second down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. An inside give, Brown. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 73 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times.
First down.
Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off. Well, if you do read man covers, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
From the 29, here's second down and 2. Burrow looking to pass. He'll get it inside the 20. And he'll finally be taken down at the 2-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Mike Gesicki, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Bengals have taken the lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
McPherson now for the extra point. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it all concluded with a touchdown pass to the tight end, Mike Gesicki. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 24. He'll start with a give to Henry. Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
And the Baltimore first down. First and 10 at the 41-yard
Quarterbacks
line.
love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
A first down carry for Henry. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Well, they run the option on second down. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Nice pickup, 10 yards and a first down on the keeper. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. He finds Bateman over the middle. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 4.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Inside handoff. Henry evades the tackler, and now some space. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's another Baltimore first down. First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
2nd down and a yard. Jackson options out left. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Ravens are an extra point away from drawing level. So the lanes continue to be there for Lamar Jackson to run that football. That his 2nd touchdown run of the game.
You know what I would like? I'd like for us to be able to go into a defense's room after playing Lamar Jackson and watch the tape and see how much of a lane was really there and how much he created just through his talent. In any event, Lamar Jackson finds the end zone, doesn't he?
He always seems to, but that's a good point. We sometimes put blame on the defense. Maybe we just need to praise Lamar Jackson a little bit more. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Quick slant caught by Chase. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. These two teams all tied after one. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They will toss to Brown. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line.
Trenton Simpson firing in and sticking him for a loss.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it.
Open man is Yoshibas.
Burrow's pass complete to Andre Yoshibas. It's a gain of 9. Makes it 3rd and 4.
3rd and 4.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And it is caught. And some room to maneuver. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A big play that time on the catch and run. 31 yards.
That was awfully nice. Hit him in stride, and off he went. It was almost like the ball hitting him was like him receiving a baton, and he was running the anchor leg in a relay race.
Now it's Burrow. Out of his hands quickly to Higgins. And down inside the 15 he goes. And the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Draw play for Brown. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now it's Burrow. Throw left side here, complete to the tight end, Gesicki. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down for a nice little gain. So the completion results there in 9 yards.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well-timed there, and now 4th down.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
Now they send the tight end in motion left. They'll try and throw forward with Burrow. Touchdown, Bengals!
Jamar Chase on the touchdown throw from Joe Burrow. And the Bengals take the chance on 4th and goal, and it pays off with 6.
Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
And McPherson on for the extra point.
It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14.
Bengals 21.
So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays.
And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Baltimore about ready to go on offense.
We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Second and 10.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Jackson to Andrews on that one. First down, Baltimore.
And the Baltimore first down.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
In motion, the tight end. Here's Jackson to throw.
Now he'll tuck this and run.
He takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
That's another Baltimore first down.
Well, we've seen Jackson already have success in the first half running the football, and he gets good yardage on the ground again there. I mean, I know it's a $64,000 question, CD, but how do they contain him better?
You have to win against the blockers ahead of you. If those guys even occupy a defender for even a half a second, then Lamar Jackson is gone. You got to take those blockers and move them so that you have clear vision of Lamar Jackson, and hopefully you can hem him in.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Jackson now. And his throw here's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Now it's Jackson.
A slant route caught by Bateman.
And he's got another first. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first.
Baltimore first down. First and 10 at the 13-yard line.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Henry out of the pistol. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line.
46 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Some good strong running right there, some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
So not quite a 1st and goal just yet as they come up now 2nd and inches. They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. They give them 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
Sometimes I get almost mesmerized watching these runners who have great vision. You know, those eyes that carry their feet to open spaces, make people miss. I just love watching those guys go to work.
Henry will take this into the end zone. It's a Ravens touchdown.
You think back to some of the great goal line bruisers of the past, the Earl Campbells, the John Riggins, the Marshawn Lynches, and then you can put Derrick Henry right in that group as he scores there with another patented Derrick Henry run.
The previous play is under review.
The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Henry again. But he will go backwards as he's stopped for a loss. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
We all know how much running backs love getting the ball down near the goal line. They think they're going to find a way into the end zone. He hasn't had that kind of luck so far. Ends up not getting in on the last 2 carries. You know he's going to be upset about a missed opportunity.
3rd and goal, Jackson. Throw right side, going to be taken in by Henry. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
On 4th down, on is Tyler Luke for the Baltimore field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick here is good. And that'll bring him back within 4. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Back to it now after the made field goal. Here's Luke to kick this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. The Bengals offense and Joe Burrow getting set for this next drive. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Burrow. And that nearly intercepted. It's incomplete. Now remember, he had a pick earlier, but couldn't reel that one in. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And the Bengals first down. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Burrow on play action. And he'll go right back to Chase. That's caught again. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
That's the third time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
Burrow will throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. So nothing doing there. And that will bring up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Throwing again, it's Burrow. Got a man open, it's Chase. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 20-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
I can't help but chuckle a little bit because at this point, it can't be a surprise to anyone in the building who's going to get the ball. They just keep feeding him over and over, and he just keeps on delivering.
Here's Burrow. It's complete to Brown, right side. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception. And that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
2nd and 9. Burrow looking to pass. Open man is Higgins. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. That puts him in excellent position. 1st and goal after a gain of 19.
Well, they've certainly not shied away from throwing the football. They've leaned on their quarterback to start this game. 4 straight passes right out of the gate, with that last one earning them a new set of downs.
They'll bring a tight end in motion. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Noah Fant there to make the grab, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Had the option to hand that one off or run it himself, but instead a really easy quick pass.
I like the way they made a decisive decision and got it right to the receiver. One move later, he's in the end zone.
McPherson on for the point after. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. A 10-play drive that time. And it's Noah Fant who caps things off with the touchdown. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Oh, a good return up past the 30. Past midfield. Justice Hill. And he finally runs out of gas, but not before he's inside the 10-yard line. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. So now, just like that, things change dramatically. It's first and goal. Jackson. Now he's going to step up and run. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Ravens have cut it back within a score. This defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number one.
It should be number one, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes it a 28-24 game. Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Bengals offense and running back Chase Brown set to take over once more. And as a play caller, when you've got a guy who's running like this, you lean on him and your offensive line. He's had big hole after big hole to run through in this first half. The Bengals drive about to get going. There have been points on the board. We just saw back-to-back touchdown drives. I love it. I'm high-fiving our statistician, Christian McLeod, and you're angry. You're a defensive guy.
If you met one of my defensive coordinators, God rest his soul, I'm surprised he isn't in this booth right now wanting to really take you on. This is not football the way he sees it. He wants a good old-fashioned kicking game, defense, field position, and we're getting an up and down the field game here.
I'll take him. Where's his tombstone?
Boot Hill, baby.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow able to find Higgins. And Higgins is going to have a Bengals first down as he's up to the 45. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
An 8-yard pickup. And a Bengal first down.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Here's Burrow setting up to throw. And that one complete once again to Higgins. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
The 46-yard line.
Now 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Throw left side complete to Chase. Will go down as a gain of 6. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Now it's Burrow. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
Well, they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Again, it's Burrow. And he'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And past the 35. He'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash, this from 48.
McPherson's kick is good.
And that'll make this a 7-point game. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
35-yard line.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson going deep for Hopkins.
That is incomplete. So halftime is upon us on Thursday night primetime, and we go off to Orlando. And Scott Hansen for our halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thank you. Welcome in, everyone. Scott Hansen here on the 5th Floor Studios. A little abridged version of the halftime report here, as both defensive coordinators might be having speaks with their players. That begs the question, can any defense get a stop in the second half? To find out, let's go back out to the stadium and join our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Scott, great work as always. We'll see what the second half brings here. These two defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads at intermission. These offenses, they have had their way so far. Here's McPherson now to send it away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
And they'll begin by running the option.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
And they'll come up on a 2nd and 7 from the 27.
Now it's Jackson.
Now he'll tuck this and run.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
And the Baltimore first down. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Well, another fine run right there for Lamar Jackson and CD. That one puts him over 100 yards now for the ball game.
And remember when all we talked about were 100-yard games from running backs? That when a quarterback did it was a surprise. But Lamar Jackson, that's part of the package as well. He'll have as many 100-yard games in the season as the top running backs in the league.
Give him a couple on the carry there. Second and 8.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Yeah, every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now Jackson. Well, that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll try and run the option. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. They go for it on 4th down, and it pays off big time as they pick up 29. It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively, because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball, but the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
49 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
From the 5, 2nd and 4. Again, it's Henry. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Derrick Henry taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Ravens are an extra point away from evening this one up. He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was. And when you mentioned the option, most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. You know, in the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
On his loop for the extra point. And that will tie our game here in the 3rd quarter.
That ties the game.
So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. So all square here in this 3rd quarter as the kick's away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. There's a look at receiver Jamar Chase as the Bengals get set to go on offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They go play action with Burrow. Now a short one to Gesicki. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up the touchdown.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. Play action. It's Burrow. He's got a man complete. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
On 1st and 10, here's Brown. He finds some way to turn this into positive yardage as he struggles forward for a pickup of about 2.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Now it's Burrow. Here's Higgins out on the right side. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 14. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
A gain of 18 on the play. First down, Cincinnati.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. This is Brown going up the middle. And here he'll get it down to the 7.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
At the Ravens 7-yard line.
2nd down and 3, ball on the 7. Now back to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop. But when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the massive bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. McPherson's kick is good. And they have regained the lead. So a response there to the touchdown of the opening drive of this 3rd quarter as they're able to reclaim the lead.
And I think you'll take that because obviously you'd like to be able to match them touchdown for touchdown. But the first order of business was to get the lead back, and they've done that. Now you want to give a good pep talk to your defense to take it from there.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. Here's Jackson. This will go to Henry out wide. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
From the 35, here's 2nd and 2. Jackson, options out left. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 14 yards that time, and a first down on the keeper.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
And he's going to be out of bounds runs, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
They set up the screen for Henry. They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively, and the key to any screenplay is space to work, and there was none to be found there, and they tackle him for just a short gain.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. Jackson.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
On for the field goal. A 50-yard attempt.
And this one is right through. And that's going to tie the ball game at 34.
So give him 3 on that drive. You know, normally you'd say, we'll take it, but the way points have been flying around, it feels like a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah, you just have to wonder, are field goals going to be enough? Because as you pointed out, the way touchdowns have been scored, does kicking a field goal actually put you at a disadvantage the rest of the way?
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Bengals offense and Jamar Chase set to take over once more. And you see the numbers for him into this 3rd quarter. They just pop off the screen. He has been open throughout.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But I also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Right back to Brown. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That good for 22 and a first down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Open man is Yoshivas.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 20.
Charles, to move the chains that time, they had to complete it into double coverage, and they got it done.
And it's never easy overcoming multiple defenders, but he sure made it look simple. Found the right spot to exploit and won his 1-on-2 matchup.
Now Burrow.
Over the middle, he finds Higgins.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And now lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down.
And we constantly talk about people being on the same page. In this situation, the two of them saw the play with the same eyes. They understood where the open spaces were going to be, and they found a way to get there to pick up a new set of downs.
Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. And Burrow going to throw again. Open man is Higgins, and he's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati.
Touchdown, Cincinnati.
It's a 6-yard touchdown pass. And the Bengals have broken our tie as they take the lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
McPherson now for the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now.
Makes the score Bengals 41.
So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was T. Higgins who capped the drive with the touchdown reception. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Called it the 26. The Ravens offense and Lamar Jackson set to take over once again. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end, trying to come up with ways to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those opportunities into big plays. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. And a busy night for Henry continues. He'll get it up near midfield to the 49 before being taken down.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
2nd and 5. Off the option, here's Henry. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They'll run it again with Henry. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Draw play. This is Henry. And he gets it down to the 32. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
That's another Baltimore first down. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard
Yeah, once more,
line.
strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. A short throw caught by Andrews. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. The Raven passing game getting in sync, another first down.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
We are headed to the 4th here on Thanksgiving night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. The 20th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's 2nd and 10. On the option right is Jackson. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. And now hang on here. Looks like we have an injured player. Yeah, Mark Andrews is in some discomfort. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. The Ravens on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Jackson to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Touchdown! Rashad Bateman on the touchdown throw from Lamar Jackson. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Luke now for the extra point. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it's Rashad Bateman who finished it all off with a touchdown. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The visitors' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. The Bengals drive about to get going. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the 4th quarter. And a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Burrow looking to pass. Now a short one to Gesicki. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be second down.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first. And in the second half of the tied game, every decision gets magnified. And here, if he forces this ball, it could be intercepted. So that's the prudent play to just airmail it out of bounds.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Burrow will throw. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Ravens are going to take over at their own 41.
Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in the tie ball game in the 4th quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Mears used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They'll start by running the option to the right. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so he didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Throwing is Jackson. He dumps it off for Henry. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
And, partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, he's had success running the football on this one. Yeah, that's undeniable. But that time, the defense was on to it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
Check down here for Henry.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
That's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson.
The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line.
The visitors' offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the fourth quarter. And he's going to get this up to the 24-yard line. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Here's Burrow. Open man is Chase, complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
A gain of 12. And a Bengal first down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Slot man moves right. Here's a fake on a jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on second down and 11. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
The offense on third down tonight, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Throw out wide is incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
And the Baltimore first down. First and 10.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
From the gun, Jackson. No hesitation, goes right back to Likely. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd and 6.
Jackson from the shotgun. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Flowers. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now 2 yards to go on third down.
3rd and 2.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And Henry fighting for the marker, but I don't think he got there. He did not. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
They'll run forward Henry. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. Derrick Henry denied here on 4th down. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. Boy, an incredibly aggressive move to go for it there. Game tied 4th quarter. You got to be surprised.
I am, and I know that we're in a new era of football where we look at the analytics sometimes, and a lot of time the analytics tell you to go for it, right? But do the analytics take into account game situation, where we are, all those things? In this situation, I thought it was an incredibly aggressive play.
It didn't work out, and again, tie game 4th quarter makes this thing a little bit more interesting. 1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. They'll give this up the middle to Brown. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
This is 2nd and 8. Burrow going to keep it running right. It's going to be a gain of 6 on the keeper, but it leads to a 3rd down. A little do-it-yourself run right there, and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
Now it's Burrow. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. That's complete. Once again, it's Gesicki. And he is going to lose yardage here. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
In today's NFL, we're accustomed to the tight end getting downfield and creating plays and wreaking a little havoc in the secondary. Not on this one, though. They diagnosed that one really well.
Tried the dump off, lost yardage. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Throw left side, complete to Chase. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now that sets up 3rd and 2. Throwing again, it's Burrow. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
So a pressure spot here for Evan McPherson. This to break our 4th quarter tie. McPherson's kick is good. And they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 21. He'll start with a give to Henry. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Running from the gun with Henry. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. Miles Murphy, he's the one who got in there and hit him for a loss.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Here's Jackson. He'll get this to Flowers, left side. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
To throw is Jackson. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. And it is caught. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 23.
That's another Baltimore first down. 1st and 10 at the 23.
I'm starting to wonder here, are they trying to prevent winning? Because right now, they're laying back and they're picking them apart, moving the ball downfield. I think they got to start bringing a little pressure towards the quarterback.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Jackson to throw. Jackson going to keep it. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
19 more yards. That's another Baltimore first down.
These are running back numbers that he's accumulated right now. Received double-digit carries and has rewarded them by breaking the century mark in rushing, in addition to what he's done through the air. Definitely MVP.
And in for the Ravens touchdown. Zay Flowers from 3 yards out. And the Ravens have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. What a game this has been, and what a drive that was, Charles, to take the lead here late in the fourth quarter.
And, partner, that's a job well done by everyone, from the players to the guys calling the plays. And if I may introduce just one downside to the mix, might be a little bit too much time left. Enough on the clock for a final last-ditch effort to try and steal this win away.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will make this a 4-point game. Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The visitors' offense and their wide receiver getting set for this next possession. And he's had some kind of game. They made it a point to get him involved early, and it has paid giant rewards to this stage of the game. Here's 1st and 10. Burrow. This one complete to Yoshibas.
Sometimes it's hard to figure, but you can live with incompletions in this situation. You can't live with these short gains that take time off the clock.
You know who loves it? This defense. They'll come up now on 2nd down. Throwing, Burrow. That's complete to Chase. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Charles, he's now over 400 yards passing in this one. It feels like he has a zillion completions. Just a very memorable effort from a guy that we thought could be in line for a big game, and he has exceeded our expectations.
That he has, and I'm not really surprised at all, because when you look at this offensive unit, they are loaded across the board. And, of course, the guy throwing them, he's a big-time player himself. They brought it from start to finish and really helped get the better of the opposing secondary.
The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock.
49-yard line.
Well, this offense still has the one timeout here, remember. 1st and 10. Burrow. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late-game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
To throw, Burrow. Now a short one to Gesicki. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. A big play here as the crowd noise rises. 3rd and 1. Here's Burrow. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. It'll go in the books as a sack and a loss of a yard, but more importantly, it leads to 4th down. What a game we were treated to in this one. And on that final play, they had a chance. They had the ball just beyond midfield for one final shot, but couldn't get it done, and they suffered the loss.
Yeah, and you mentioned how they had a chance on that final play, and getting it to midfield gave them that opportunity, hoping they could find their way to the end zone and make that miracle happen. A really good ending to an entertaining contest, though.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.